An immaculate garden bloomed out back, surrounded by walls imported from Spain, sheltering it from the gray, stormy winds of eastern Long Island. But the home's reputation came not from that gray garden, but from its eccentric inhabitants.
Get very independent when you live alone. You get to be a real individual.
They were the two Edies, Big Edie Beale, the mother, and Little Edie Beale, the daughter.
You know what they said? That I was schizophrenic. You know, no Beale is schizophrenic.
Had they been nobodies, perhaps Albert and David Maysles never would have shown up to make their 1975 documentary, Grey Gardens. But Big Edie and Little Edie were somebodies. They were the black sheep of the Bouvier family, aunt and cousin to none other than Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. Phelan Beale, a wealthy lawyer, bought the home for his wife in 1923. Back then, their lives were full of high society must-haves, country clubs, debutante balls, and the like. But when Beale divorced his wife, Little Edie came home to take care of her mother. And for the next 40-some years, their lives and the house unraveled together.
Any little rat hole, even on 10th Avenue, I would like better.
I'll awake and start to bake.
The film finds the duo living in a single room, eating liver pate and ice cream, surrounded by trash, cats, and other wildlife.
I don't need the bags anymore.
Including raccoons living in the walls, who they fed like pets. It was big news when the County Board of Health tried to evict them, but the ladies of Grey Gardens refused to leave. Their famous relative, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, did pay to have the home made at least sanitary, but soon it began to decay all over again. It's a tale so odd, it's become pop culture.
The best kind of clothes for a protest pose is this ensemble of pantyhose.
In 2006, Grey Gardens was made into a Tony Award-winning musical. And after that, HBO turned it into a movie, starring a very convincing Jessica Lange and Drew Barrymore.
You can't have your cake and eat it too in life.
Oh, yes, I did. I did. I had my cake, loved it, masticated it, chewed it.
The real Big Edie died in 1977. Little Edie, left alone and penniless, finally agreed to sell her crumbling, weed-choked wreck. But who would buy it?
I walked in the entrance hallway and I said, "This is the most beautiful house I've ever seen." And Little Edie said, "It's yours."
Journalist Sally Quinn and her late husband, Ben Bradley, the famed editor of the Washington Post, bought the house for $220,000 in 1979, with the agreement that they wouldn't tear it down.
The back of the house was flapping in the wind. And I walked over to the piano and I said it went dink, 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 and the whole piano collapsed.
That room now looks like this. The rest of the home does too. Even that bedroom the two had shared has now been restored back to its 1920s glory.
In order to get rid of the cat smell, we had to tear out the floors and the walls.
In a jersey knit designed to fit the contour of your shape.
Not far down the road at the Bay Street Theater in Sag Harbor, yet another play is in production. More proof the story of Grey Gardens lives on. As for Little Edie, she died in 2002 after finally leaving the Hamptons for Florida. But inside the home that will forever bear the Grey Gardens name, some say the walls still speak of the two who would never leave.
I can't